Hey, welcome to Mornings with Ken. I am so glad you guys showed up today. I thought you guys would have abandoned me by now, since I haven't done a YouTube show in a while. But hey, welcome to Mornings with Ken. Hey, you know the routine. Come on in, get that cup of coffee, get that virtual donut, pull up a chair, kick your shoes off, and stay a while. Because I'm really glad you guys are here. Hey, thanks for showing up today. Let me have a little something. You got your coffee? You got it? Do you have your Mornings with Ken cup? You could have one for only $19.99. No, they're not for sale. Unless you want one. I mean, I can get you one if you want one, but... Oh. Sorry. I'm eating my breakfast, sort of. Let's all take a sip of coffee together, okay? You ready? Let's do this. Let's have a nice sip of coffee. Heaven on earth, heaven on earth. Hey, I read this article from Forbes magazine entitled, "Half of all skills will be outdated within 2 years," by Joe McKendrick. Joe McKendrick, writer for Forbes magazine, wrote an article, "Half of all skills will be outdated within 2 years." Can you imagine that? Man, my job as a YouTuber is going to be done now. And this is, of course, related to AI, artificial intelligence taking over jobs. So let me read this article to start our Monday off. Executives believe nearly half of the skills that exist today in the workforce won't be relevant in just 2 years from now, thanks to artificial intelligence. And a lot of that includes their own skills. So executives are saying their own skills will no longer be needed within 2 years. And this is, they surveyed 800 of the top executives in America and 800 employees. So that's a fair, I guess, a fair survey. 800 executives, 800 employees. I don't know, but executives is what got my attention. That's a lot of executives from the top fields. Let me have another piece of chocolate. Just a little piece. Just a little piece. One of those little things. That's not gonna ruin my diet, right? So I'm not gonna bore you with this whole article from Forbes magazine entitled "Half of All the Skills Will Be Outdated Within 2 Years" by Joe McKendrick, but let me hit some highlights. Executives say that half of the jobs won't be relevant by 2025. And they also believe that most of the workforce will be unprepared for the future. And executives in the survey estimate that within the next 5 years, their organization will eliminate over half entry-level jobs. Well, that's a big number right there. So executives say in their businesses, they predict they will eliminate over half, 56% of entry-level jobs will be gone. Where do those people go? They also say 79% predict that entry-level job workers will no longer exist as AI creates an entirely new role for employees entering the workforce. So the entry-level jobs are going to be a thing of the past. So if you think you're going to graduate from high school and not go to college and just get a job in manufacturing, that's probably going to be the worst industry hit, is manufacturing jobs in the workforce, because Those are usually entry-level jobs for younger people starting out. And they're predicting that those jobs are going to go away. So there's a couple other points from this article I wanted to read. The CEO from Procter and Gamble, I can't pronounce the guy's name, Victoria Critella, CIO of Procter and Gamble. Most successful applications of AI will amplify human skills, not simply substitute or replace them, he says. So that's kind of a bit of good news. He's saying most successful applications of AI will amplify human skills, not simply substitute or replace them. Where humans continue to make a difference is in the problem definition phase. Problem solving through key questions, identifying patterns before attempting to define the algorithm solutions. So, I mean, I guess there's still going to be jobs, but I don't know. Let's see what else this article says. Oh, here's something. So in the survey, out of those 800 executives, 40% say the CEO role should be completely automated or replaced by AI. Even 49% of the current CEOs agree. So the CEOs are saying their own jobs will probably be eliminated and taken over by AI. Can you imagine that? Even the CEO jobs taken over. I mean, you talk about like, hey, since everything is automated from a manufacturing standpoint, do we need a CEO to make these decisions, or does AI simply say, hey, we're creating, X amount of widgets, and the machinery is doing a great job producing the widgets. Therefore, we don't need our 200 workers on the line. We're shutting that line down. And I mean, does it come as far as a CEO? There's no CEO, so the AI algorithm prints out pink slips automatically. It goes through the time clock, so they don't swipe in anymore and they're fired. I mean, is that the decision maker? Has AI become the decision maker? Is there no need for the CEO to hand down the verdict of how much of the workforce is needed? According to this survey, that's what they're suggesting. They also say skills that will be less and less in demand as AI becomes more ingrained in daily work activities will include repetitive tasks, analysis, interpretation of activities, and content generation. So that's kind of happened if you're familiar with the SAP system. SAP computer system kind of already does the analytical part of it for you. So literally, like I just said, some of these systems can already dictate what your staff should be. And I guess it could you might as well have the system do away with the CEO and just print out pink slips as you reduce your staff. Or perhaps put out social media ads requiring certain new skills, new hires. So it's but in good news, they do suggest that there will always be a role for creative minds and for problem solvers. So I mean, I guess I don't think they really know I don't think anybody really knows how this is all going to work out. But I think it's something we need to think about as, entry level jobs are going to go away. And so you got entry level and high and executive level jobs are going to kind of go away, it looks like. But they do say, anybody bringing real world experience to the table might be difficult to replace. So, hey, that's not a way to start your Monday morning with some negative news. But really, I think throughout generations, we've gone through things like this before, where we have to look at the changing times, and times don't go backwards. Time just marches on, and we have to learn to march with it. But it makes you wonder how good really is AI, and can we take it too far? I don't have the answers, but I'm sure some of you out there have the answers. So let me have another sip of the coffee here. Love it. So what can we do? What can we do to prepare for the changing world that we live in, the changing workforce? Well, let me just say, from talking to my friends that are in the trades, they are in great need of people in the trades. Plumbers are always needed. A good plumber, carpenters, electricians, builders, welders, framers, anything with building. Those jobs are in need. All my friends who are in that type of business say they don't have enough help in those fields. So, and you can make a great living. There's a job that has not yet totally been eliminated with artificial intelligence. If you're a good carpenter, you could earn as much money as you want right now. And plumbers, electricians, welders, builders, man, those jobs are out there. Hang drywall, paint. Those jobs are out there, and they're probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So if I was a young person starting out right now, I would definitely learn the trade skills. Those are the areas that I would go into. I looked up a couple other areas of growth in the work field. And of course, nursing always comes in as near the top. There is a great need for more nurses and nurse practitioners. The mental health field is in great need. We see mental health has just skyrocketed over the past few years. People in need of some mental health, behavioral health. Depression, suicide is on an all-time high. So anybody working in the mental health field, there's plenty of jobs out there. So occupational therapists, right now there's a demand for that. Maybe going away as manufacturing goes away. Regarding people working on the manufacturing lines, so those jobs might start to dwindle. Dental hygienist, big demand for that. Yeah, so I can't clean people's teeth. I can't do it. I love brushing my own teeth, but I ain't brushing someone else's teeth. Man, that's good. Little pieces of chocolate. That's not that bad for my diet, right? I don't know. Okay. And home care, nursing, home care in general, people coming into people's homes, making sure they're in a safe environment, they're taking their meds, they can get up and down, evaluate the patients. Home care, is a big industry right now. Um, in the computer skills category, some of the highest jobs needed right now, software developers. Software developers, because they are going to work directly with AI to help develop new software, new intelligence so they could take over the world. Data science. That's probably data science, probably collecting data, collecting the information, and then executing a plan against that information. Big opening in those areas. Information security, that's going to be probably a job that's really going to grow, because as we're working with artificial intelligence, information is going to be out there, and to protect that information, you're going to need some type of cybersecurity. Web developers, that's currently a high demand, but they're talking about AI taking over that too, because AI has become so intelligent that they are basically saying web developing will be taken over by AI, because they already know how to build the web and send ads and direct the ads exactly to the people they want them to go to. So web developing is still a thing, but you might see that start to go downhill. So that's a few jobs that are in high demand right now. So get out there, learn some skills, people. If I was a young man or a young lady, I'd be going over to the trades. I would learn me some trades right now. And just, let me have another sip of coffee here. Oh man, was that good. I love coffee. Unusual jobs. So I want to say, I looked up what are some jobs that are unusual jobs that are in demand. And I think I got about 4 of them here. All right. I thought these were funny, or at least interesting. So, unusual jobs in demand. An embalmer came in as number 1. An embalmer. Could you imagine? I mean, honestly, I can't. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could. Bombers, I don't know if they suck the blood out of the body, and then they put that embalming fluid in the body to make the body look more natural, to preserve it. But that job is in high demand right now. High demand for an embalmer. So if you're good with dead people and you like being around dead people, learn how to be an embalmer. I bet you might not even have to go to school for that. Or maybe you can do like an apprenticeship. I'm not sure. But be an embalmer. I couldn't do it. Now this one was weird. And I don't think I think someone's having a little fun with this on the internet. A cure. Not barbecuer, just a cure. A cure. So you know what a queue, you put something's in the queue, it's on standby, it's so you would be someone who stands in line on big sales days like Black Friday. You would go and stand in line for somebody at one of those big box stores, and you would stand in line and wait for the store to open. So when you go in there, I don't know if you have their credit card. I don't know how this works. Maybe you just stand there and wait for the person to show up. Like maybe it's on an app. You wait for Joe Bologna to show up and say, "Hi, I'm Joe Bologna. Thanks for waiting in line for me." And then you verify their information, and then they get to go into the store when it opens up and you've held their place. Well, that's a real job, and it's called a queuer. You put something in a queue electronically, and it sits there, waits for its turn. So go be a queuer. Go be a queuer. Crazy. A golf ball diver. A golf ball diver. Now, I just thought they had that machine at the golf course that I thought it scraped the bottom of the ponds. I thought they had some type of a net or a machine that went down to the pond and scraped out the balls or something. But I guess they have actual divers who dive into the ponds and retrieve the balls. That job is in great demand. I can't see that job paying that well. I don't know. Well, it doesn't say that these pay that well. It just says they're in demand. So a golf ball diver. Hey, honey, how was work today? Oh, man, I must have collected 300 balls today. Oh, my God. I mean, I don't know. Would 300 be a lot? I mean, I don't know. Okay. And this one is hilarious. Apparently, there aren't enough costume character actors. They are short. Like when you go to the baseball game and they have these, the mascots dressed up in costumes. Yeah, apparently there's a shortage of costume character actors. Maybe check out one of the big Disney parks or something too, and you could be Mickey Mouse or Goofy for today. Apparently, they need you. They need more costume actors. So, hey, there you go. There are some jobs for you. If you don't want to be a plumber, be a golf ball diver. You don't want to be an electrician, be a costume character actor. I mean, hey, the jobs are there. As we think about living in this new world of changing job markets. But really, I'm not going to fret. I'm not going to fear, because I know the Lord is near. And I just trust the Lord that He will provide. And I know that He will. He'll provide during these changing economical times that we live in. But, maybe it's time for me to do a job change. Maybe I could go into, I don't know, mental health. I don't know. Or maybe if I get more subscribers, I can be an official full-time YouTube. No, that's not going to happen. Hey, but don't forget to also turn into the podcast on wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast. Don't forget my podcast show. Sometimes they're the same as the YouTube show. Sometimes they're different. So there's two ways to enjoy Mornings with Ken: on the YouTube channel and on the podcast. So, all right, everybody. I hope that wasn't an interruption right there. Maybe it was. But hey, take care. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye now.